Well,
looking for it now, and I can't find it.
What can you recall? What do you know about?
There's special.
Charisma?
There's something about it for. I have to find it again. There's something to do with peaches.
Well, you keep doing that. You keep seeing what you can find and link it over to me, and I will be happy to help. Okay. That being said, we are live. We are here with episode 34 of The Haunting of Harrowstone. And man, it's been a bit of a ride up to this point. And let's talk about it. Let's just kind of jump right in and talk about what's happened. I really want to start here. Cobalt. Can we talk about Eli for a minute, man? He's been going through some shit.
He's a nice guy. He's very charismatic, friendly, outgoing, caring, gentle.
Okay. All right.
Selfless. You forgot selfless.
And he hates rats and goblins. So it's very selfless. Protect the innocent, unless they're rats.
An expert animal handler. Yeah.
I am good at animal handling. That's one of my things.
He's got the talent for it.
I helped calm the horses down that were trampling Oz.
Didn't you decapitate
like horses?
You're basically
that was Rye, I
think. So I calmed them down.
There were two. Okay. I got one of them.
Yeah, I got the other.
To each their own. We should be making soup out of that horse, man, not rats.
Yeah, that is a good point. Why didn't you bring that up when we were in there?
I mean, it's on the road, still dead. Hasn't been that well. It's been a
now it's been, but like before, maybe
it's been a little while. Yeah.
Before, when we went to rest, when we ate the rat, I think we probably could have pulled off eating the horse.
So did Eli
go into Harrowstone?
Thought of that before we ate the rat.
So what else do you want to know about good old Eli? One-eyed Eli.
Did he find any catharsis from his well, I don't even know if I want to call it a fight last week. It was a dance. It's really what it was. It was a dance.
Does he feel better about it?
Yeah, yes. Do you feel better about some of the events? Like you have had a extreme disconnect with Rye up to this point, and together you defeated a rat menace.
There was a little bonding. A little bit of bonding.
The rat mosh pit.
Even though he betrayed me by taking the rats a little bit, but that's his reward for helping me.
Nothing says bonding by
see him.
two dudes crowd surfing rats.
Yeah, I got pretty hurt off of that, but it was worth it. As far as he feels like they're going to be safer in there. He genuinely believes that, even though they probably would have left them alone if they didn't go mess with them. Especially since they were throwing bones out and trying to warn us not to mess with them, and we kind of went up in their house. But does he feel better? Does he not hate rats as much? No.
Right. I can't imagine you feel that much better about it.
It's it's like an empty feeling, it can never, you can throw a bunch of dead rats in the hole, but it's never going to fill up.
How many dead rats are in Eli's empty hole at this point?
So many.
Just how long do you think it'll take to you to clean your armor?
I'm not looking forward to that.
It's like the Battle of Helm's Deep, but with rats.
I have to go clean my armor. I don't want to. Yeah, so no.
Imagine the smell.
I don't want to.
Rye's probably just going to wear it like cologne.
Yeah.
Rye is very cleanly. In fact, Rye's the only character that has taken time to take a bath, a shower, he's gone
to the bathroom.
Wash up. He keeps himself clean.
He's a regular kind of guy.
Keeping yourselves clean.
Well, I haven't role played pooping either, but then here we are. I'm sure
I role played pooping.
You did. Props to you.
My character is a human.
I poop
he does
before
human
I get
things.
out of bed.
What's that?
I poop before I get out of bed.
Jesus Christ.
Oh God.
We just took a dark turn.
To the earth, right? Just it's not.
Just
living in your
it kind
own
of makes me
filth.
wonder.
Frank.
Do humans think that some of the less common races like tieflings, knowing now that like we know that Temerity has a roving nipple, right? Is that a possibility? Do you think that humans are probably like something weird about them? They don't ever take a shit. We see them drink and eat all the time. Like they never go to the bathroom though.
I'm shitting outside the tower we just destroyed right now.
Well, it begs the question then, what are the regular grooming and hygiene habits per race? Because it wouldn't all be the same, right? Like there would be like special needs or like special, I mean, who knows, man? Maybe dwarves never shower. I've never heard of dwarves showering.
I can see them washing.
Dwarves are like chinchillas. It's dust baths. It's got to be it.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really thought about it. Like, what would be the customary, like, normal? Like, we know what that looks like for a human, but
because you've got water pools and that sort of thing underwater. Yeah, that would be a normal thing, but it wouldn't be like a shower. It wouldn't. I dare say even a bath. It'd be like just washing yourself down with a cloth.
yeah,
that
okay.
would make sense.
Interesting.
It's weird how that kind of turns, but I suppose it's a question that I think most had a curiosity for.
I am ready to go to an actual city that's not just like a town we've half destroyed, where we can do some bartering and exploring. I know there's probably some NPCs we haven't hit up yet, but probably council people and whatnot.
Yeah, so
Makes me wonder.
Yeah, so to summarize, go ahead.
How many of you, when you make it to a large town, are going to seek some form of like refuge of therapy? You know, where you decompress.
Riot therapy. That would be hilarious.
Everybody's got some form, right? Like you have a crutch. Everybody has a crutch. Some people like drinking. Some people are like, no, I'm just gonna go lit, right? So yeah, he just works out.
Yeah, he's a himbo, man. He's just gonna pump it. He's like Pain and Gain.
All right.
Like he commits a murder and then he just starts like getting a set in, you know.
Really,
Is it sad
really,
that I now find him more attractive?
really glad that you didn't say boner there. You didn't say set-ins. Like he just murders someone and then he just gets a boner. I'm like,
oh, is that what I thought I was doing more like a set motion, but
it's the camera angle. I think.
Yeah,
it's the camera angle.
I felt like it might be more like than like.
Some people like that.
I don't
full
know what
stroke,
techniques
right?
are out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I get you're doing like a set of like rows, but like
Yeah, I was still on the himbo, but if you want to go there, that's.
I'm just saying I'm sort of a missionary style only when it comes to that. You know, there's only one.
D&D After Dark. That's hella boring for a himbo. Come on now. Oh goodness. Okay.
He likes to go for a run.
My therapy's in the forge.
In the forge? I mean, that makes sense.
Making armor, weapons, repairing shit.
Is it
working hard, sweating?
Is it a matter of construction, or is it a matter of like almost self-aggrandizing punishment? Because the forge isn't easy. You callous your body.
Like pushing yourself as far as you can every time.
Overexertion.
See if you can just get a little bit more precise or one more little detail in whatever you're working on.
What does it look like for Temerity?
Church. Goes back to the temple.
Church girl.
Yeah.
Not for long.
Maybe delivers a couple babies.
Goes to church, delivers babies. That's catharsis right there.
Yeah.
Fireballs the town. You know?
Yeah, potato.
Life
potato.
in, life out. You know?
It's this. It's. Do you want me to sing? Because I'll go full Lion King right now. But
Temerity giveth and taketh. Torvin. Is Torvin's just smoking? Is it just the pipe in peace?
Where possible, but I mean, his real home is back with his community. So that's his decompression. That's his, and he does want to go home.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be here.
Why does he continue adventuring then? I'm curious. Do you feel like you're on the search of finding yourself, or is it just like, okay, I've had my Rumspringer. I miss Dad. I miss home.
He has unfinished business down there.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
That's why he was going on about his job. go and do that job
Silwith,
because it's not finished yet.
realistically, what does downtime look like for Silwith? What is decompression?
No, I'm just kidding. It's it's puzzle locks. Yeah, it would be. It's just like him spending time kind of doing what he spending time doing what he used to do, which was kind of tinkering with puzzle locks to practice the skill of thieving in general. That's like his time to like zone out and like zero in on something that's not, the world.
My man does brain teasers thinking that he's going to be the next big thief.
No, he doesn't. I mean, I guess I can give it away. His whole mindset behind that is more of thieving for the sense of understanding the intricacies of locks and traps, things like that, to see how they work, what makes them go off, what makes them effective to begin with. I mean, as an innocent person, he's never broken into something to take something. It's always been, oh, they said this safe was unbreakable. Okay, well, what makes it like that? What would make it breakable? What would make it impossible to open it under these circumstances? It's kind of like those, like he would want to answer those questions, but it's kind of one of those things where if he was doing that, it's like, everyone get the fuck out of the room. I'm going to start working on this. Like, don't bug me for the day.
Sure. They accidentally open the door.
For the love of the game.
They accidentally open the door and you're like naked with your ear against the safe.
Yeah.
You don't even say anything. You just go like, shh, go.
Like clothes make too much ruffling. He's got
the worst episode of Leverage I've ever seen.
Oh, I fucking love Leverage. I love Leverage.
That's his way to, I guess, wind down or at least zone out the troubles of the world.
Side note, Misty, did you know that Leverage has its own tabletop game?
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and it moves just like every episode of Leverage.
So we all know exactly how to play it, is what you're saying?
Basically,
You've seen
yes.
one episode of Leverage.
Mm-hmm. Basically, yeah.
Guess what I haven't seen yet?
It's that's all I can say. Just look it up if you're at all curious.
I mean, that's really all you can say.
It's a thing.
It's formulaic, but at the same time good.
Yeah.
Like infinitely watchable.
Yeah, for sure.
And Andrew's about to type because he's the one who tortured me into liking it.
Well, Nurble he gets it, right? It's good. It's fun. It just yeah, I did. I played in the Leverage tabletop. It's a lot of fun. I digress. Back on motion. Yeah, so we saw the rat showdown where Eli and Rye came out victors. There was some tension. You said that there was you said betrayal. That was the word that you used, betrayal.
Well, I was I was exaggerating a little out of character, but yeah. It seemed counterintuitive to go to kill the rats and then to spare a few of them. But
money.
Yeah, and I think I'd rather pay you in rats than actual, coins. So
if you want to buy the dire rat to kill it, I'll sell it to you.
I'm good. You got that sword on loan right now.
Yeah, I do. I'm still holding on to it.
Well, you're getting it loaned from Temerity, who's got it loaned from me.
I'll trade you the dire rat for the sword, so you can kill
that's
the dire
double
rat.
Interest. That's how that works.
Double interest.
Oh my god, he might actually be a merchant. This is a bit much. I love it.
I grew up in a shop with haggling dwarves.
Yeah, see, here's the problem with Eli. He doesn't let other people have their things, right? He wants
I could have put up way more of a fight for those rats.
Everyone allow him to have his things, right? In the way he is. No. But he makes no concessions for anyone else. Listen, Rye wants to make some money, man.
He helped
selfless. You. He killed a lot of stuff that you hate, and he found a way to make a little money. So
misaligned my back.
and he gave you one to do with as you pleased. You
Just
milked it, and then we're good. We're even now. You got
don't
your
even need the
bloodlust.
normal ones. They're worthless.
Yeah, well, I mean, depending on what you can and can't convince people of or intimidate them into.
So do you think that Rye is actually going to go out of his way to protect these rats? Is it legitimately an investment, or is there another reason that Rye might be holding on to this?
If you're asking me,
Yeah.
no. I mean, it's purely for money right now. Just because Rye spent a lot of his, when he first left Nidal, he spent a lot of his time like finding whatever odd jobs he could take, and a lot of them were killing rats.
Right.
It's pretty common. So he got really, really good at it. But he'd never seen a dire rat that big, but he had heard people talk about, if you ever, other people that are just around, like, if you ever come across, some dire rat, babies or whatever, they, you might be able to fetch more money than the job itself. It's kind of like people who have been in the trade a little while, they know, they know the extras. So anyways, he's happy because he's never found them before. So that's exciting. Even though he's killed a bunch of rats, and then he thinks he can make some money off of it. That's it. He only took the other. He thought about killing the other three, but then he thought, well, if I found them, I found them all together. What's to say they aren't all dire rats? He could maybe sell them as a group and make a little bit more, or convince someone else. He knows they're probably not.
About the rats, because Bub said that the mother of the nest wasn't there, as far as we could tell. Now we could check the sex on the other rat, and you just took the babies.
Yeah.
So it could come looking for him. Yeah.
Well, we fucked up her husband, so I think we'll be able to take her as well. If she comes, sniffing around.
All right. I'm still shitting outside the tower.
I do have this curiosity. I think Chad has asked, and it was talked about it several times in the last episode. As Ello, that Oz just lost Pecker, right? Is this going to be a moment where we see Rye come through and basically offer up that almost like a affectionate, like a support moment where we see Rye offer a rat or rats to Oz?
I mean, I've already considered myself only having one to sell when I think about it.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, that I would take them either way. Like Rye would take them either. I'm not taking them so that I can give them to, Oz, because Rye has no idea what's happened with Oz at this point. Rye is simply taking them because he wants to make money. But I'm sure when he finds out about Pecker and he's got a baby, I mean, and a hobgoblin going around with a dire rat, I feel like might make sense on some level. So
I mean, do we know Oz won't just cook it though?
Who knows? I don't know.
I mean,
he might offer
Thanks.
Oz, and Oz goes, get that
Chop.
dirty thing away from me. I don't want anything. That's what I eat. I
mean,
want to make a friend out of that.
Oz did say that he had, as a cook, he had made chicken several times, but he was like covering Pecker's ears, or like the head where you might guess an ear might be. It's like, but don't tell Pecker that.
Gotcha. That's true. All right. Well, yeah, I don't know. He might turn me down, but yeah, I'll probably end up offering one. Sure.
Okay. What did you find? What did you guys find there? Was there any, was the quote unquote loot, if you will?
Yeah, there was a brass necklace, if I remember correctly, and then there was a ring with a bronze.
Bronze, correct. Bronze necklace.
And then there was a ring with a like teeth on it, or like a skull with teeth, something like that.
Sure. Yeah.
Like a silver ring.
Teeth. Yeah, you handed that to me.
I think I gave it all to you. I think you have all of it right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think that's accurate. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that you were handed all of that.
Oh no! Hold on. I think I did throw you the ring, and then I showed you the amulet. And
I think you still
correct. Oh, that's right.
You're
That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, wait, so
'Cause you splitsies the looted with me.
so you threw the ring down.
Minus
So then,
the
yeah,
rats.
you kept the amulet. Gotcha. Okay. You just kind of like pocketing this for now, trying to sell this later. What's your guys' game plan with this?
I think I think Rye wants to get showered. I think that's where he's at right
Gotcha.
now. So
Okay.
he's like,
I want to
let's
get
just-
the ring identified eventually, but yeah, I think the excursion should be finished. We're kind of close to the super dangerous prison, even though we're like just outside of the border of it. It's not a good idea probably to linger too long.
Yeah, no, we did our thing. We got some cool loot. You know, we're disgusting now.
Yeah.
Rye's ready to go
I gotta
back.
go clean my armor.
What else
Yeah,
happened?
Rye
Very
needs to go take a
meticulous.
shower.
So we had that series of events there, that knockdown, drag out fight where there was like multiple frog splashes, like RKOs out of nowhere. What else occurred in our session? What can you guys remember?
Well, there may have been.
Orpha died.
Oz helped Pevrin from his injuries that
Yes.
killed the same scene where Pecker died.
Yep. Yeah, we know for sure that Pecker and Jorfa did die. That is correct. Still some semi major stuff. Yeah, go for it. What you
A
got?
piece of her was picked up
Yeah.
and saved just in case.
Yeah.
Oh, same for Pecker.
And Pecker, yes.
So there's a feather and a piece.
Piece of skin.
Yeah, it was a
Strip
piece of
skin.
Jorfa's face.
On a cheek.
Yeah,
And,
with the symbols on it.
Mm-hmm.
Tripp went full fucking Dark Knight. He's all justice at the end of all that shit too.
Justice was what? What did that look like?
He just he had pretty much just said that pretty much his pretty much justice had been served in a quicker time than he expected.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Weren't sad about it.
what did that look like when you finished? When justice, quote unquote, was served, what did that look like?
Oh, just to make sure that no one could use the body of Jorfa, we burned her. And her shitty ass blacksmith. No, just kidding. Yeah, no, we burned her. We burned her corpse so no one, hopefully, no one could take it and use it for anything.
Yeah. You had made the decision to burn down the blacksmith. You didn't consult anybody. You just did it. Even Oz was like, "What are you doing that for?" And
Cause fuck them. That's why.
you were like, "Shh, no, shh, just go with it, because this is weird, and we're gonna burn this place down."
And then the DM reminded us that souls can never leave.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, good. He says good. He occupying the only
win-win.
body that he is, legally allowed to. This is gonna be this. It's gonna make for an interesting experience. Okay. All right. Now, I want to know what two people are doing before we kick this off. Before anything happens here, I know that Torvin remained at the house at Lorimore House. We also see Temerity at the Lorimore House. Kendra is there, and so is Jaminda. The sheriff, well, he's recently MIA. You know where he's at. Ish. But you don't really know what to expect of it as of this point. Who has all of the cursed belongings?
I do.
Wyld has them. Okay. All right. Then I want to open up this scene in the Lorimore house. I want to move this to a situation where we see Torvin. Torvin, can you describe what you are doing at this point? What you're doing in the Lorimore house? Are you relaxing? Are you kind of preparing for the inevitable here? Are you thinking about just leaving?
Preparing.
Okay.
At this stage, we've gotten back. We've seen what happened. Where everybody's gone off to do things. I was considering going over and investigating the house, the sheriff, but I've been running around for so long, so he's got to just repack, get himself organized, clean himself up. Make sure he's got his pack organized again because he's been thrown around all over the place. So the pack that does have all of the evil items is actually another pack. That's a separate pack, but that's aside. It's so full.
Okay. Temerity. He's not exactly quiet about this. Kendra seems to be minding, cleaning up after what looks like most of the efforts to heal Rye. Jaminda is also assisting, removing things from the study. Not really much engagement or talking is going on. You have, this is still in those moments just after you've discovered the events with basically the matriarch of your particular sect of the Church of the Inquisitors. And you have time to mull things over, or you can push it out of the mind. The noise, you hear Torvin staying to himself, yet still functionally preparing for what you're unsure. You can probably guess. I'm leaving this open for the two of you. If it's some engagement from both of you, I would say almost not enough, though. So the scene is yours.
I would, in that case, first, so within all the, I don't know, aftermath of fixing up Rye, is there like a wet rag or anything that's not like Rye bloody?
Yeah, of course. I would say that, there are probably a number of clean linen that have yet to be used. I'm sure that you can find those with some general ease, yes.
Okay. Well, I'll pick one up and wet it somewhere and go and kind of be rinsing off wiping off my hands as I go talk to Torvin.
Got it.
Make sure any kind of residual ashy mess is gone. So what are we doing here?
Well, that's a good question. We've got to get back. We've got to get back down there. One of them's escaped.
I agree with all this.
Can you kill them? I mean, they're already dead. I can only hit them so many times.
I mean, excuse me, they shouldn't be on this plane of existence, and we can fix that if nothing else.
I'm not used to smashing up the Goobblers like those ones. That's strange.
So much of this is strange, and that's coming from me, who's seen similar countless times, or many times at least.
Kendra walks idly on by, minding her own business, trying not to eavesdrop, but it's nearly impossible to do so in the house. It's so quiet.
I'll stop Kendra. Wave at her hi, I can clearly see you. How's Rye? Where's Rye?
I think he'll be fine. As far as I understand, he went somewhere with Eli. They had gone off to a personal task. I didn't catch much of it. He requested his aid and offered to pay him.
Didn't happen to say when they would be back, did they?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't try to listen too hard and long. Plus, they made it with quickies outside, and I must maintain this. I don't want to develop any form of sickness lingering just because of the mess. And she's kind of pointing to some of the things that she's cleaning up.
It's fair.
He seemed fine for what it's worth, and Eli seemed very focused. I don't know what for, but definitely there's something that was bothering him. I got the greatest sense of that.
bothering him enough to pay Rye. Torvin, what do you make of that?
Why would he need Ray? Oh, he's gone after the rat.
The
Pause.
rat?
There's a big rat.
Kendra gives you the same kind of confused motion.
Well, we sort of went on a wander before. And, anywho, over towards the costly item because, well, the sheriff was walking over there. And, we decided to leave, and as we were doing so, I heard a rat. I heard well, I say a rat. It's a dog, but it's a rat. So we skedaddled on back. He's probably gone back to kill it.
That tracks. How far away was it?
Well, it's back at Harrowstone.
We should.
So it won't be too long. But my goodness.
I'll head in that direction and kind of like, if you want to come, give like a non-committal, like come if you. I'm gonna go look at that if you'd like to join me.
I mean, we were going over there later anyway. I don't know.
I have nothing
You all
else to
move
do.
so quickly.
Would you? I'm happy to go at your pace if you'd like to join me.
Well, I guess we have to go. Oh, I don't believe they've gone with the rat. Maybe they haven't.
It's roughly this time that you begin to hear the plodding of feet outside climbing up the few wooden steps before the landing just in front of the house. It does feel heavy. You can hear that heavy footfall. You're guessing it's probably Eli. Could be Rye easily, both heavy-set men. There's a light rapping at the door, and you hear a voice that you recognize. Well, Kendra? Or anybody? Oz outside the door. Kendra moves. She kind of looks to each of you. It's unlike Oz to ask at this point to come in, given that Oz is staying. So she moves over and she opens the door. And there we find Oz helping Silwith, almost in a hobbled state. Describe yourself, Silwith.
I mean, battered would be an understatement. You can see that there's like scorch marks of, well, I guess where the veins would be, as though if he had gotten electrocuted. And yeah, you can hear that he's having some trouble breathing. So I mean,
Torvin swears and runs over.
Right behind him.
You rush over. Kendra's already under one arm, and when Oz sees you, Oz kind of relieves his assistance from Silwith's body. That sort of throws that arm over anybody who's willing to take it, whomever the first is. I'm going to guess that it's probably Torvin. Torvin and Kendra, where do you guide him to the study? Are you moving to like the kitchen area?
I'm going to do a heal. I'm going to have a look at what he has to happen to him right now.
Your heal reveals that he does have some very minor burns on the surface. It looks as if you see some superficial damage. You do see that he's taken quite a severe impact to the chest. But what's surprising is that under the skins he has these almost ligature-like burn marks that move in almost like a cascading lightning bolt. It's kind of sprinting under the skin, but it stops at certain points. You've seen this before. It's far more common around that you've seen in the forest, where there have been creatures that have been struck by lightning.
What the hell have you been doing to yourself, lad?
Bit of work on Arise. I just need some rest.
Get
I'll
him
look
to a
at-
bed.
while he gets him to bed, I'll look at Oz because this like that doesn't sound like clearly the whole story. He looks worse for the wear.
Oz briefly catches your glance and then looks down, almost with some shame. Well, Then Oz looks over and removes the bucket that hangs from his side from the hook on the belt and gently lowers it to the ground. And his eyes seem to kind of affix to that bucket for a while. And he never really finishes that before he just kind of hobbles on past you. Pecker's not with them. He moves to the rear side, the maid's quarters. Minds his own. Head seemingly tucked the entire time. You see the left arm just extended out in such a way that it's common, where you would see the arm up so that Pecker could be there, but there's nothing there. It's muscle memory more than anything else. Torvin and Kendra break right so that they can see to Silwith in the study. Someone else that is newfoundly injured. Jaminda rushes in as well to see how she can assist. But Temerity, you see Oz walk off alone. For the first time, legitimately alone.
I'll let him go. Clearly, he's going through something, and I'll come back to him when he's back, and go with Torvin. Like follow them with Peverin's Silwith.
Okay. Silwith, you seem to be the center of attention as of this moment. They gather nearest and around you, trying to better understand your situation. And I think Temerity will follow in tow very, very closely, likely with some questions. I hope you are prepared for that conversation.
No.
Okay. Okay, good talk.
Yeah. So I mean, if
Kendra waits.
just like
As soon as you're sat down, Kendra waits. She's looking at you expectantly, like a mother would, a child waiting to tattle on themselves.
They said it seems that one of our jobs has gone awry.
And he's like, you see him trying to like still like move his hands, like he's like slowly getting like the feeling back, I guess. Where he's like starting to move his wrist a little bit, getting his fingers, and he keeps eye contact with her, but like he'll break away every couple of minutes to just make sure everything's like in check, and then looks back up. I think Oz was trying to cast an ability to see into a secondary spectrum, but something happened and suddenly I was on the floor.
Are you okay though, lad?
I'm okay. But I haven't heard Peverin speak. Whatever hit us, put him out.
Where did this happen?
The blacksmith.
The blacksmith? Jorfa?
Correct.
Why would you go to see Jorfa at this hour?
Oz wanted to, but I don't know why. At least not the specifics.
Seems a little odd. At this point, you can see that Kendra seems to be glancing back to Torvin, hoping to divine any answers, seeing if anything comes from this. Why would Oz go to see the blacksmith at this hour?
It's Oz.
That's an extremely fair answer, knowing Oz.
I say that in that I have no idea.
Well, you've gone to see Jorfa. Was she available?
He was working on something. And, well, the initial conversation didn't start off too well, and he kind of points to his chest. She knew who I was.
What do you mean? Who you? She knew you was
He
Peverin.
knows... No.
Well, I don't have all night. I'm actually getting tired, so if you could make it snappy, please.
She knew the name of me as Silwith.
Oh,
She was one of the guards there. She was actually one of the people that had taken me in, booked me, and kept me on file. She found the flask that I had, that one with the poison to you. And he kind of nods over at Torvin. She thought I was some sort of assassin sent to kill her, and, well, as you can see, that's kind of how it led me to here, or there.
How did she discover who you were?
Simply by revealing my name. He grabs his chest.
Did you have any forethought before this happened?
Regards to what?
I suppose the entire debacle.
I went through a ledger of names at the prison. I needed to see if she had actually been made aware of who I was. I wanted to know. So I let my tongue slip and, well, I found out the answers that I needed to. She was one of the people that had deliberately kept me hidden in Harrowstone.
Jorfa was quiet. At times, perceived as hateful. But Jorfa was a good lot. Always seemed like she was running from something, but that's neither here nor there. I believe that everyone in this town was running from something. But your grandiose plan was to find someone, and I'm still slightly befuddled at the idea that you were a prisoner of the prison from over 50 years ago, but you were to find a guard that had managed to survive and approach them with this plan of saying whom you were, and you thought it was going to go smoothly.
No, but I just needed validation for it.
Validation. Interesting. What's it
Either
like
way,
being
she's-
dead as a spirit, a ghost?
Painful
It's painful.
a lot of the times.
You hurt? If I were to prick your thumb, would you bleed? If I were
You're trying to bring up the boy's well-being.
Oh no, that's secondary. From my cautious glance, you don't really care too much about the boy's well-being. I suppose my most furtive glance is that you have zero forethought for the actions that you've put forward. Now I can understand, as an outside race, a goblinoid, a hobgoblin, I don't entirely know what Oz is. They may be foreign to some of the aspects of living in communal or city life. But your taste for survival is severely lacking. And unless you wish for this child that you occupy to continue surviving, you may want to consider just how careful you move. It's a thought.
It is.
And if you need
But either way-
spectacles, my father has several pairs upstairs, just in case you can't seem to deem that far ahead of yourself. Look before you leap, because you're going to cause others to get hurt around you. I'm going to go check on Oz.
Don't let me keep you.
She shakes her head in disgust, and she throws down a rag and walks away.
As soon as she's out of earshot, what did you do? Have I missed something? Did you do something to her? That was rather harsh. What did?
I do understand why you told your name.
I said I needed answers.
I mean, not the
Tried to pick
smartest
up-
move.
No, but it was the only one that I had at the moment.
Did you want to put us at more risk on? I don't understand what you keep doing this. First the book.
Elo.
Now this.
Ello, as you arrive back to the Lormar residence, the house door itself is cracked, probably 4 to 6 inches, which at times has led to really poor signs of either intruders or something eventful happening. You sense no greater form of like disrepair or sense of disturbance, but when you get in, you can hear some slightly elevated voices. Torvin first.
I wouldn't be going right in.
Okay.
I would be looking for some sort of hose or water or something outside so I could like clean myself off. I wouldn't like drag in a bunch of dead rats
Sure.
into the house, right?
You know in town that there's an open trough that gets bucketed every day. You also know that there is a well that you can see to in the center of town. It's going to just give you basically a few more minutes of overhead here in cleaning up, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. I'm gonna clean up first a little bit before
Okay.
Cause you think I'm gonna walk into Kendra's house like that and she's not gonna fuck with me, you know? So yeah.
Probably just stab you. Straight up stab you.
yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm gonna be back in her
she's-
care.
I mean,
'cause
she's definitely in a
gonna
mood.
Stab me.
Torvin
Like, there's a line, and there's where you are.
and Temerity, as you kind of like, you're still saying these things to Silwith, to Tripp. She hasn't gone all the way far. She's not all the way gone. You see that she is speaking with Jaminda, and Jaminda steps away. There's just a brief conversation, probably no more than 20 or 30 words. Jaminda nods, and she steps away. She exits the building.
Wait, Jaminda's leaving?
Jaminda is leaving the house, the Lormore house, correct?
Okay, would I have run into her? Because I actually want to talk to her.
It's likely, yeah, that you would catch her. She'll be on her way into town, so you're probably no more than 20 or 30 feet ahead of her when you'll hear her behind you, kind of moving in the same direction as yourself.
Okay, I would like to stop her.
Okay, sure. We'll
see her because
we'll
okay.
get that in. I want to
Sure.
get them through their conversation first.
Of course, yeah. Just letting you know.
Very
I'm
long.
very concerned that we seem to be going in circles and everything else keeps exploding around us. From what you told me, there's no reason for this to happen. And what happened with this spell? I mean, look at your boy.
You have looked better.
Just puts his hands up.
You notice as he
I
raises
got
his
the-
hands, he tries to flinch his fingers down, but there's a twitch, and his fingers don't respond very quickly as his hands come down.
I'm not the one casting. I don't know what's happening around us. Me being here is unexplained.
Casting.
For what it's worth, she's dead.
What?
Who's she?
Sorry, I'm not like Tripp's not laughing. Me as a player's laughing. So, yeah, don't incorporate them. The blacksmith. She took the brunt of the attack.
Well,
She's dead.
Attack?
What attack?
Spell, whatever you want to call it. She's dead.
You are not a born storyteller, boy. What? Who? Who attacked you?
After we had our talk, everything seemed to be going okay, and Jorfa invited us into her shop. When we had entered the shop, Oz wanted to, I guess, again, see into this magic spectrum. I think that's what he does. And there was this loud crackling noise or a pop, and then when I got up, I had all of this on me, and she was dead. It's not like I went looking for danger, you know.
I mean, you say that as if you haven't before. It seems to find you.
Yes, it does. But
Torvin stands up.
Honestly,
You stay here.
Before you leave, Torvin,
No, you stay here.
She told me about what you were.
I turn and leave.
I think you're not in any position to bargain with him right now.
Not about bargaining, but she was running from him.
Torvin has left. He
Yeah.
doesn't even hear you out. Temerity, that leaves you with specifically Peverin, or Silwith in this case. Silwith, do you say anything? Do you follow through with what it is you were saying in regards to her running from him?
Yeah. Don't know what it was, or at least I don't understand what it is, but the whole preface of her running that Kendra brought up was from him.
So Jorfa
Was running from
Torvin.
That's what she said.
No, did she say why?
Because she was a defector of some mountain or crown or something.
So some business having to do with two of them, and not the professor, not the mission, not what we're here for.
Apparently Torvin was supposed to come here to kill her. Or at least that's what she was under the impression of.
I'll just kind of shrug. I mean, I've been sent plenty of places to kill plenty of people, so I can't. I have little quarrel with that kind of arrangement, but I don't understand what it has to do with. How did I'm still rather unclear on how all of this happened.
I don't know how it happened.
I can't say that you shouldn't figure it out real quick, because Torvin did not look happy when he left.
Two birds with one stone, I guess, then.
In between the book and the... I don't know. I've put my own neck on the line because I thought that you were doing the right thing, and I don't quite know anymore. Oz didn't have Pecker with him, and
That's correct.
so what happened to Pecker?
He just kind of looks. He like looks at Temerity, and then he kind of just lays down.
Do you lay on your back? Do you turn away from her?
He lays on his back. He's gonna try to go into like his mental state to see if he can, I guess, like find or wake Peverin.
Okay.
But like he just leaves it. He leaves it at that, and he becomes like the body becomes like non-responsive in that sense.
Okay.
Well, when he does that, I'm just gonna shake my head, kind of cross my arms, and like mom stare him, because now I'm not gonna leave him.
Sure.
Because now I don't necessarily. I mean, any trust I had is kind of hanging on by a thread right now.
Makes sense. That makes total sense. Where does Torvin go?
I'm grabbing my mace, and I'm going outside, and I'm walking towards what I think is in a direction towards the blacksmith. I'm not actually sure. I haven't been there.
Okay. Perfect. So before we get to that, before we see Ello's conversation here, I need to see to Eli. Eli, you took a moment. You said that you were relieving yourself. You just cleaning here. You just kind of relieving yourself. You're finding. Are you waiting for something? I'm not. I wanna get a better feel for this before I kind of usher along the scene.
Figured I would be heading back with Rye.
Okay. Oh, then if you're going back with Rye, then yes, then I will assume as such. Did you want to go with him through town to kind of clean up?
I need to clean up too. Yeah, I take pride in caring for my equipment.
Got it.
That's a big deal.
Got it. Okay. Perfect. Then this will be an easy enough scene. So we see Rye and Eli. Rye was going to stop at the Lorimore house, but you both agreed that you needed to head into town so that you could clean up. You both recalled seeing that there was an open trough that could be regularly bucketed. There's also a well that has buckets that are hanging. You can kind of clean up there. It's not the smoothest, but people aren't exactly going to stop you. They're not going to say anything. People are staying indoors. Things are weird in the town. It's not that strange to see something like this. You move on for about 10-15 seconds before you hear the door at the Lorimore residence shut, and when you glance back, Jaminda, the apothecary, is leaving. She tightens a shawl very, very closely to herself. She wraps up the belt, and she starts moving head down in the direction of the town. She doesn't even take notice of you as she hits the road. She's nearing you at this point. Do you say anything to kind of alert her to your presence, or do you just kind of let her run into you?
I alert her. Ma'am.
She stops all of a sudden and she glances up. You notice that her hand falls immediately to her side under that shawl. Likely a defense mechanism. She might be carrying some sort of dagger or just a knife of sorts, a blade even. But when she sees that it's the both of you, the tension falls briefly, but the hand never quite leaves.
Stab now.
Yes. We come in peace. Just had a few questions.
I can answer to the best of my ability, but I was sent on an immediate task for Miss Lorimore.
Shouldn't take too much of your time. Just wanted you to look at this. And I undo my pack and I pull out the baby dire rats.
When she kind of leans in to see them, she withdraws. She's like, "Foul creatures! Why do you carry them?"
Some people might pay a pretty penny for a rat baby this size. Can tame them. All sorts of uses, really. I thought maybe you would know a little bit about what they might eat.
As far as I can recall, rats will eat just about anything. Human food, creatures alive and dead, carrion. They are a surviving breed. Rodent. They can, as far as I understand, they can ingest just about anything.
Do you happen to know anyone in town might be interested in a couple of these little guys?
At this hour, no, I can't say I know anyone that would be interested in rats. I'm sorry. Dire rats?
Yeah, bigger than normal rats. Angrier.
I thought they were larger. These are babies.
Oh, they get big. They get real big.
No, maybe a wizard or a witch is familiar. You could try the wizard in town. He might find some use for them.
Yeah, I was gonna check out Grow and see if he knew anything. Well, That's all well and good. More to your specialties. I was wondering if you could put together a little concoction for me.
More. It's the middle of the night. Do you what do you need?
Oh, it doesn't have to be right away. Just a mint concoction. Do you have any mint on hand?
No, I have a knife and an urge to see to something immediately. I'm sorry, but I must press on. And as soon as she finishes press on, the door to the Lorimore house closes abruptly, rather loudly. And Torvin comes walking out. He doesn't have his bag. He doesn't have his bow. He's clutching onto a mace, and he's moving with reason. You can see that there is a point to his step.
Listen, it's not that difficult. You just take some mint, you mush it up, make it into a salve. I just needed a little bit for my buddy over here.
Perception, please, from both of you.
Sure. And I know where this is.
Torvin crushes it.
Nice.
Why can I not find my roll 20? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Torvin, what do your dwarvish eyes see?
Everything.
Perception. Go.
Okay. Everyone is going to get this immediate scent. So first and foremost, Torvin, having natural dark vision, it is easy for you to pick up a change in environment, okay? When you step outside, you notice that it is much lighter than it should be at this hour, but it's not daylight that you're seeing. It is a glow from over the town. The others can't see this, but they can smell it. The smell of a strong peat bog fire, of wood burning, of wet wood somehow still scorching. A stagnant odor that seems to rake over the land. Jaminda says it first. Do you smell that? Something's burning.
Yeah, you're right. Rye starts kind of sniffing around.
Torvin, you're probably 15 or so feet. The scent is incredibly strong for you, and you have a very good idea about where it's coming from.
I start sprinting, trying to get to anything higher, like ground, so I can see ahead of me as I'm going towards it, but I'm moving towards it as quickly as I can.
Okay. Torvin is no longer walking. He starts sprinting. You can see the wind kind of kick back into his hair. The wind is blowing intensely so at this point against him. And that's when you can catch that strong scent as you turn to see where he's going. That burning sensation, that smell of fire, it is permeating directly into your face. You can feel the heat kind of hit the wind hit your eyes from the wind, and it's coming from town. And when your eyes focus through that bit of like steamy fog, you realize that there's something more than just a small bonfire burning, and you can see the glow. Now, this is going to be a little different, but those of you that are acting here, I want initiatives.
Sure. Wow. Oh, man, it's so close.
There we go. That makes a world of difference in the audio. It's like, man, why is my audio so quiet tonight? Okay, let's see here. I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to try to get you into something that's going to be important here. Yeah, I like that one. An initiative. I have Eli with a -1. Wow, okay. Rye, Torvin, which of you has the higher dexterity of the two of you?
Oh, more than likely Torvin.
Yeah, I'm a 17.
Okay.
Yeah, 14.
All right, so Torvin, Rye, Eli. That's your initiative. Torvin, you're moving first. There's zero build-up to this. You've already been running. You've been moving as fast as you can to get into town. I'd like to know if you say anything along the way, if you tell them to move, what does this look like?
I'm trying to confirm in my eyes whether or not the fire is back. So my initial thoughts are, of course, the skulls from last time. So if I'm seeing that same sort of thing, I want to scream out fire to warn people, but I just want to be sure before I do it. Sure. Do you full move? Absolutely.
A full move, straight move. So you're gonna move. You're gonna clear a lot of distance. Admittedly, the others will move faster than you. Just the nature of being a dwarf. You're used to that. But you move very, very quickly. You know, within a matter of rounds. With you running at this speed, with very little interruption, you will get here within a matter of maybe 3 to 4 rounds. You'll make it into town, at least in such a way that you'll be able to see exactly what's happened. Rye. Are you running as well?
I mean, I see Torvin running like that, and I think there's probably a good reason for it. So I like basically thrust into the arms of Jaminda the dire rat babies, and I just say, I think something's wrong here. Take this. I gotta help my friend.
Okay.
And I just kind of like shove it into her hand, like no, like I don't even give her a chance if I can.
Sure.
And then I run off to see what Torvin's running towards.
You notice that she kind of handles them a little awkwardly. She juggles them for just a moment before kind of like catching them as they start to fall, and she just drops into like an almost a cross-legged position, holding on to these very awkward infantile rats. These babies. And she's basically just stays in that crept position. Eli.
Said we smell fire.
Yeah, yes.
I want to pick up the trough and carry it with me.
Okay, you know that it's in town. That's definitely going to be in town.
Or what are we by the well then? Or
you guys aren't, you're not, you haven't made it all the way into town for that just yet. You're past the Lorimer house.
So we weren't cleaning
yet. You weren't there just yet.
Okay, well, I want to head towards a water source then.
You got it. That's going to be a lot closer to town. It's going to take about 3 rounds for both of you to kind of clear that gap, essentially, cover as much ground as possible.
So we're still gross. We have not cleaned up.
Correct. Yet. No, you haven't cleaned up even a little bit. Unless otherwise dictated, will any of you stop for any reason?
I won't. Not till I get to... Oh, the only reason I'll stop is if I catch up with Torvin.
Only if somebody's on fire.
Okay. It'll take you 2 rounds, but you'll catch up with Torvin. You're nearest him at this point. You're matching his pace. You know that in just a matter of seconds, you will be outpacing him. Do you have anything to say?
What's going on? Why are we running?
I think there's a fire. Oh, God, you stunk. The fire. The forge.
Did you say how much I smelled? Is that what you said in that moment?
You stunk.
Okay, yeah, he notices like, wow, man, he must have an insane nose to be able to smell me while we're running like this. That's noted. But yeah, I guess Rye would look probably further ahead and kind of get what he's looking at, right?
Yeah, the closer and closer you guys move to town, you can actually hear the sounds of fire kicking across thatch roofs and starting to burn. This isn't a small flame. This isn't a bonfire. This isn't even a house at this point. This is leapt across as you guys enter into the town, into the square, or the circle. It has leapt from the point of beginning, so the blacksmith. It has moved over the top of the town hall, and it's just starting to wrap to the roof of the church.
Why's it always got to be fucking fire? Every time, every goddamn time. What do we do? I'm looking over at Torvin.
Do you slow your pace to match his, or do you continue like moving past him?
No, I'm with him.
Eli, you're right there with them at this point. Since you guys are talking, I'm not going to kind of like weave it in and out of the combat structure. I just need to know how you want to move here.
Door to door. Get everybody out.
I'll go to the
rush off
well
to one
and
direction.
start grabbing buckets.
Okay, you move to the well. You know that there is a trough nearest this area. There's a horse tie-off area. Similarly, you can use that. It's going to be, you're talking a lot of water here. You could do it, but it's going to require a hellacious roll. I believe in you. I got to know exactly what Rye is going to be doing here.
Yeah. Okay. So from my vantage point, what all is on fire right now?
You know for certain that the blacksmith is done. The blacksmith is gone. It's burning from wall to wall. It is. Okay. You can tell it's its point of origin. The town hall itself, the wall nearest the blacksmith is what has caught. You're seeing that it's rising over the roof, and it's just starting to like burn into the roof of the church.
And that's it so far.
So far, yeah.
Okay, I am going to run into the town hall. I'm going to run to the town hall.
Town hall's pretty much been cordoned off at this point, courtesy of the events that happened the last time, the last fire that was here, the first town ghost experience. There's honestly not much here to save. You're looking at like documents, ledgers that may be valuable to the town elders. You know, youths don't really care about history that much in this regard, so this is just a something that is easily foresought.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around for anything that might be valuable, like whatever would be the most valuable thing to grab if I could. So you were saying like documents or something like that. Anything like stand out?
Give me perception actually. Let's see what you know.
Sure. I want to be clear. I'm using this fire as a means to steal first, as long as everyone is also not. If there's somebody to save, he'll save them. But if not, this is an opportunity. So.
Your eyes immediately train on the rear side of the wall. The documents, you can tell, are not exceedingly valuable, but what you do capture is a painting. And this is, in classical depiction, it looks like it is a religious painting, but it's what they've called it in the town. It's probably been mentioned to you in passing by. It's called Blessings of Pharasma. And the reason that you know it's valuable is that in the painting itself, they embedded onyx gems. They basically built up paint around onyx gems to mark her gaze over everyone in the town. So it's a large painting of the town, but there are onyx gems actually embedded on canvas.
Interesting. Ooh. Oh man. I need to make a roll.
Go for it.
Real quick. Okay, I'm gonna. I need to make a good decision here. I need to make a good decision here.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to. Rye is sort of pondering. He's like looking at it, and he's kind of like, "Am I going to do this or not?" Because he doesn't want to deface the painting.
Sure.
But he also doesn't want to bring the entire painting out either. That seems ridiculous. You know what? Rye's gonna just real quickly try to get the onyx out, the most valuable part of it.
Damn. Okay. How would you do that?
He's gonna see if he can just simply pull it out, and if he can't just pull it out, then he'll pull out his knife and he'll take the gems.
So let me describe the situation to you. So you run into the Harrowstone, or excuse me, not Harrowstone, Ravengrove's town hall. Part of the roof at this point has come down, courtesy of the events of Temerity bringing down load-bearing beams, the same load-bearing beams that smacked Oz's body, of which you saved him. The roof itself burns. You can smell it. It's already smelled of burning as it is, just as it is. And you know, courtesy of the damage that was done, that it probably wouldn't take a lot and you could finish the job. There's a very high chance that with enough of a wrecking ball mentality that you could take out the wall that was relying on that load-bearing beam and with your wisdom here, this is also glancing around, with your wisdom, your best guess, based off of what you know architecturally, is that if you took out this wall, there's a very good chance that while you will lose the town hall, you will save the church. It will take out that part of the roof that is burning next to the church.
Okay. Where does that leave me with the gems?
If you want to do that, you can, but you risk more and more opportunities of it catching further and further on fire.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely grab the gems.
Okay.
And then as soon as I'm done with that, I will attempt to do whatever with the fire.
All right. So then I want to know from you, what sort of role would you like to use here in an effort to free the gems from this painting?
Is Defile a skill?
I mean, listen, if it's gonna burn anyways, you know, whatever. It doesn't. It's destroyed one way or the other. He's just trying to make use of it. I don't know what it would take to cut, like, get it out. What would it? I'm just gonna pull out my pocket knife and just try to cut it out. So
give me a strength check. If you don't know what it's gonna take to do this gingerly, then you're gonna do it with strength. It makes sense for Rye.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
That's really good. Yeah, you're gonna do some lasting damage to this. You clip right into the canvas itself. You feel that there is a meter of wood, like there is a dense thickness of wood behind this, and you begin to just kind of pry this gem free. It is a flat, carved gemstone. It's not like your typical quote-unquote diamond shape. It is a square stone. And how many do you want to do?
As many as I mean, how many are there?
There's 4. There's 2 over each shoulder.
I'll just take 2.
You'll just take 2.
Just do 2.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do 2.
All right. Give me one more strength, please.
Sure. Oh, I don't know why it rolled that twice.
We'll take your first roll.
Sure.
It came out as another 20.
Oh, my mouse is double clicking a little bit.
Gotcha.
So that probably was
Got it. That's another 20. With ease, you manage to free another gem from this spot on the painting. It looks deliberate. So if this place burns, you may be in luck. But if it doesn't burn, people are going to immediately know it stands out. It's very very stick out.
I throw the painting into the fire. Whatever the fire is, I'm going to throw it in there, and then I'm going to try to stop the rest of the fire.
Okay, all right. So this is going to take you a moment. This isn't a small painting. You're able to reach up and...
Oh, how big is the paint? How big is it, then?
It's 12 foot wide.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll just get a piece of wood that's on fire, and I'll light it on fire.
Okay, I was like, that's what I needed to know right there. I was like, this is...
Yeah. I didn't realize
sizable.
it was that big.
Yeah, it's quite a sizable painting. So, cool. Sure, you with some ease. It doesn't take a lot. You're able to immediately turn it down to the actual corner, and it doesn't take a lot that it kind of flinches up and starts to burn, tracing up the painting itself. Cool. I need to move to Wyld. I got to see exactly what Torvin is going to do. You said you wanted to save people in the town. You want to go door to door.
I do. I want to run around and basically wake people up. If there's going to be a fire, I want to make sure everybody's moving. I also want help. Because I can't do this, so everybody's waking up.
All right, so I want to know what skill that you want to use for this.
Being loud.
Being loud. Do you want to use charisma with this? Do you want to use... look, I'm creative. I will let you get away with a lot here. I just want to know what you're going to do, and if you are willing to a degree, perform and act it out.
No, I mean, there's not really a role. I am opening up people's doors, smashing on windows, well, knocking on windows, screaming at top of my voice that there's a fire.
Okay, all right, sure. Do you go to the buildings nearest the fire, or are you going like across the street? What does this look like?
I'll be going to one as soon as I can see the next door to the next, unless there's somebody specific I want to go to, but even that's probably a distraction. I want to save life.
You got it. You got it. Then give for me, I just need to know if you would give for me a d20 plus your charisma modifier.
To try to make sure that I can do the right number of people.
Sure. Give me a charisma roll, please. Okay. All right. You start immediately, like, basically banging on doors at this point, and you're yelling, fire, fire, fire. You're trying to immediately alert people to the situation at hand. And before you get to some doors even, you notice that people are kind of coming out, and they're, like, looking. That smell is prevalent. The sight, the sound of the fire is intense. You're definitely getting help. People are immediately running to their neighbor's door, and they're beginning to knock. This is probably going to take you 2 rounds to kind of wrap this up. I need to know here, Eli, you've made it to that trough. You're at the well. You can see this.
Yep, I'm gonna try to pick the trough up and carry it to the church and throw it at the burning area.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, give me a strength. 14. 14 is an even or an odd. You're literally like lifting this up and putting it on your shoulder. This is like a 6-foot trough filled with water.
I know. It's big.
Do you want to try for a better roll, or do you want to go even or odd?
8 or 11. I'll go even.
Even? Okay. Even, very good, very good. It's not easy. You know that immediately pushes you into heavy encumbrance. You are moving at probably, I would say, 10 feet. At 10 feet around. And that is without losing any of this water here. It's going to take you probably 2 to 3 rounds. But you're able to lift this, and you stumble 5 feet forward. It's awkward. The water shifts. It kind of splashes out. It's very, very, very awkward and strange. You can hear him yelling behind you. You saw that Rye took off immediately, and he ran into the town hall. And you basically, as you turn and as you're picking this up, you can see him bolt inside of the town hall. You don't know what he's doing. You're not entirely sure, but he's in there. And that's where it looks like the fire is starting to spread to, and then up the church. The church itself is a 2-story building. There's no way that you're going to be able to do that cleverly so. Your best bet is to probably drop this over on the town hall.
I'll try to just drop it next to the building then, and I'll run back for buckets to start just like rapid bucketing out of it.
Okay, sure. If you are,
instead of tossing the whole damn thing.
I'll give you this. I'll let you cut down your 3 rounds of running with this. If you do so, with a risk of dropping it, with a reflex save, I'll set the DC at 15. You will stave off 3 rounds of extended burning, of additional spread, on your next roll. Or you can do just that. You can take 3 rounds to move it over, and then go fetch buckets and go from that point. So I want to posit that with you and see how you want to take this on your turn.
I'll do the chance of dropping it.
Okay. Torvin, this is still your 2nd round. You're knocking on more doors. More and more people are coming outside. Rye, at this point, knowing your plan, you've managed to successfully flinch a single gem from this. You haven't made it quite to that next gem. You can hear the fire kind of licking over the top of the roof. It's getting brighter and brighter in that open spot where you're starting to see what would normally be moonlight if it was a normal night. Not that it's normal since the roof has come caving in at this point. But the fire is getting brighter. You can tell that it's starting to spread. Eli, you have this up on your shoulders. Give me a reflex save. 15 is to meet it. 16 breaks it. Do you want to reroll? Oh my god.
Oh my god! Holy shit!
Take one of my rerolls. Go ahead and reroll. Take one of mine.
Shit! Holy shit! Holy shit!
Oh, bad. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Nice.
Dude,
That's what I like seeing. Rolled a 1, a 0, and then a 2 into a 16. All right, you got it. You got it. It did come at the base to one of my rolls. I'm okay with that. You do manage to lose just a little bit. It's not enough to really make a bit of a difference, but you hustle over there. It's splashing water about. You feel like your body's about to give at multiple points, but you're able to stabilize in multiple situations. Guys, Eli is completely out of luck rerolls. That's all he's got. I did just give him one of mine. If you guys want to see him with more, you know exactly how to do that.
Let me be a hero.
You've got that, right? You've got that in front of you at this point. You drop this down. You hear it thud densely so. The wood starts to splinter. You can see that some of this is starting to kind of bleed off on the sides. You know that in probably 2 or 3 rounds worth of time, in the next less than 30 seconds, this thing will completely bleed out and you will lose all of its water. Give me a perception. I set the DC at 18 for this, and you just beat it. Eli, you have run this over there, and as you lower it to the ground, you glance down at this, and you look around, immediately looking for help, knowing that it's going to take you moments to do this, and as you're glancing around, you can see that Rye is busting ass on the opposite side of the town. People are starting to come out, and they're bleeding across the town at this point. And what you weren't expecting to see is glancing through some of the destructed wall and seeing Rye stealing gems from the town's painting.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. My gosh.
I set the DC. I literally set the DC at 18. No,
I didn't
dude.
know that I'm like exposed.
No. This is the side. Like this, people don't walk through this part of the alley, right? Like that's not going to happen. It's just because in this particular situation, he's moving over so that he can stop the fire from spreading. It makes most sense. I got to give him a roll. I even set the DC as very high. 18 is very high for this situation.
I would immediately yell, Rye, I need your help over here to stop this fire.
It's very, very clear, Rye. That isn't on the outside of a wall. That voice is breaking through the wall itself. Your head turns like, oh, and when you glance over, you can see just this, literally this much of Eli. As you have your hand like up, right? You've got the dagger up, and you know that he sees you.
But I already have one, right?
You already have one. As soon as he says that, his eyes disappear, like he's moving. Do you move to the next one? You feel pretty confident that you could get the second one with quickness, less than 6 seconds.
Less than 6 seconds?
Yeah. You know what? You'll get a move out of it. This will be your standard action. You'll get a move out of it.
Okay. Yeah. I'll do it. I'll go for the second one.
The question I want to ask you then is, with your move action, do you still want to burn the painting?
Where does the fire look like it's gonna get it?
With time. See, that's the thing, right? The blacksmith has like mud walls, like clay walls, right? It's a thatch and clay wall. The town hall was built of brick with a wooden thatch roof. It would take time for this to burn.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to not take the second one.
Okay.
I'm gonna burn the painting and then I'm gonna sprint out.
You know that gems are not gonna they're not gonna carbon up, right? Like in this situation, a little bit of fire is not gonna damage the gems. You can always come back to this at another point and not just get the second, but you can get the third or the fourth gem from this painting.
Yeah. I'm just for now. I'll just take the one.
Sure.
I'll burn the painting and then I will run out to help.
You got it. You immediately burn the painting and then you rush outside. Top of the initiative line, Torvin. Just over the sounds of the burning, the people that are starting to become a bit more calamitous about the issues around them. The fact that their town hall, their blacksmith, and now their church is even burning. You hear that breaking sound of Eli. Rye! And he screams out, needing for help. Torvin, you know the people of the town are assimilating. They're doing exactly what they do in the situation. They're trying to save their own. What do you do with your turn?
I have a look at the landscape of the roofs, the town, as I'm looking towards this fire, and I'm just thinking if I can cut some of it off. Can I try to intelligently try to figure out what I can do?
Give me an intelligence check, please.
forte.
Give me an intelligence check. Would you like a reroll? You have two. You have two rerolls.
Yeah, I just want to be careful.
Oh, that's right.
Sloth.
Three. Excuse me. Sloth, thank you so much, man. Sloth, thank you. Thank you for saying that. Three rerolls. Thank you so much, Sloth. I appreciate it, buddy. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. An 18. Yeah. You come to the same conclusion that that the others have as well. That the blacksmith is gone. That the town hall itself is in trouble. It risks burning because it's starting to bleed over to the church. The Church of Pharasma is incredibly important to the people of this town. It's not quite fully caught on fire. If you take out either the fire on the roof of the town hall or you take out the wall that was already sustained lingering damage, you have a very, very good chance of preventing this spread. It's the wall nearest Eli.
What's the wall made out of?
Stone.
Wood, I guess. Stone.
It's very clear. It is a mortar basin. You know it's not Dwarven make. You
so
know
where
it's
do I hit it?
the angled corners, right? So where it comes to a 90-degree angle, if you take those out, all it takes is just a little bit of pressure and you can take down an entire wall.
Alright, I just rolled Stonemason Profession. I'm gonna attack that brick.
All right, you were on the other side. It's going to take you a round to get there. You're probably looking at like 80 feet, but with nobody in your path, you're going to cut that distance very, very quickly. At the start of your next round, you'll be able to start attacking that wall. Rye.
Yes.
What do you do?
Well, I mean, I go to help Eli.
Okay.
He's keeping on me through brick walls.
Creeping on you.
Sure. You bolt outside to the area where you know that he's at. You've been outside of this building now a few times. You know, you've got a better lay of the land in this case. And you do as such. As soon as you get there, he's red in the face. He's borderline like slobbering from the amount of pressure that he just carried on his shoulders. He's carrying a very similar face to the night that he was left alone to carry the coffin of his dear friend Petros Lorimor.
Yeah, well, I handled all the bad guys alone.
Truth.
I go and I, take up some of the weight.
Sure. It's been dropped at this point. I'm gonna step out for just a moment of free action, just to kind of let you guys handle this. It's open RP. Wyld, Torvin is bolting up. You're probably about 10 feet out. Rye steps outside of this building, and Cobalt, Eli is right there already. You guys have probably less than 50 or 60 words before I carry it back into into range of motion. So what do you say? Do you say anything? Do you do anything?
The whole town's going. What are you doing with this?
Grab some buckets. There's buckets by the well. We can start drenching stuff or throwing it on the fire. I moved the water closer so we can get more out.
Torvin, you
where?
overhear
The
this.
side of the church? You want to do?
The church is the only building that hasn't been completely devastated yet.
The wall! The wall!
Torvin comes in, and all he says is the wall, taking 2 hellacious swings with his mace at the wall. Each time that he plinks in, you can hear the sound of the masonry sort of pluck out the other side, breaking and damaging part of it. At his second and third swing, you swear maybe it's the wind, but the wall itself shakes a little. You immediately understand what he's trying to do.
Yeah. If I still have time, I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna try to punch that wall.
Go for it. Do we see the same thing from Eli, or do you immediately rush back over to get water buckets?
I'll do that first.
Okay, you sprint back over. We go back into initiative round. Torvin.
I'm
Do you continue to swing?
just making sure. Yeah, that's right. No, I'm gonna trust my roll.
Go for it.
I keep knocking that wall down.
All right, so when you're attacking inanimate objects, you have to roll an attack, and these things have hardness before you break into their HP. So please, I just need to see that you don't critically fail. It's soggy out, it's wet, you're acting on hastened actions, you're moving very, very quickly, you've not had time to provide care. Just don't critical fail and give me high damage. That's what matters right now.
So a CMB.
No, it's gonna be just a regular attack with your weapon.
Oh, okay.
As long as you don't critically fail your swing.
I don't actually have it written up. I've got my daggers here, so I'll do that.
Okay, sure. Then, I mean, it's going to be very similar anyway. It's just based off of your strength. So, d20 plus 2. Yeah, that's going to be based off of strength. 7 is going to be d4. Roll a d6 for me, please. Just slash r space 1d6. Okay, so it's going to be 1.5 times strength since you're using both arms for this, so it's going to be 5 and 4, so 9 damage as you come in. And each time, it swings and breaks out a brick. Because you're not high enough in level, you're not going to get a secondary swing action, but you're giving everything that you have into this. It is full rotation as you swing and levy this hammer, this mace right into the wall. Rye, do you attack the same area, or are you moving to a different spot?
Okay, so just to be clear, the wall that we're attacking right now is of which building?
It is of the town hall, the building that you just ran out of.
Okay. I want to make sure first and foremost that I have given enough time for that painting to at least have burned. Or, you know, is it too soon, would I imagine?
I mean, it caught pretty quickly. You have no idea how fast it's going to take to burn. Probably like 2 or 3 rounds at absolute best. It was a very, very long painting, so you have given it at least a full round. It's probably assumed from top to bottom. I'm guessing you've burned about a third of the painting.
Yeah, I would have lit it on the side that where the eyes were at for sure.
Gotcha.
Way. Like,
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm actually going to take a turn and I'm going to roll engineering. And I'm going to look for the best spot that I think, because I'm just hitting this with my fucking fist. I'm not just going to start punching into a fucking pillar, right?
Sure. Gotcha.
So, yeah, I'm going to find the best spot that I can.
Yeah. So here's the thing about it, right? Like, you have already done this tonight. You have assumed the best means of action of taking out the greatest amount. And not entirely unlike the rats, these bricks create a surface. You know that the wall is already shaking from Torvin attacking this corner, this angle, 90-degree angle. That seems to be a stoic point, a standstill strong point. If you take out much of the weight itself, if you bulldoze your body through what remains of the wall where there was already sustaining damage, you could cut down the effort substantially.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into dragon stance, and I'm gonna prepare to charge into the pillar next turn.
Okay. Got it. I got it.
I'm like using my turn to back up and kind of pace myself and center myself, but I'm also wasting a little bit of time.
No, I totally picked that up. I got it. That totally makes sense for the character as well. Eli, in your round, you've rushed over. You've got the buckets. Did you want to fill them with a well there, or did you want to go rushing back immediately?
I want to go hammer that wall that he told me to hammer or to hit.
Okay. When you've grabbed the buckets at this point, you start moving them back, but you see something a little strange. When you glance back, you can see that Torvin is still just hammering away at this corner, just plinking out brick by brick at this point. Rye has almost lined himself up in a low level stance to like almost spear tackle something or somebody. Normally it would almost appear like a football stance, but in this case, you're not really sure what's happening here. It is a low ground attack, and it takes a moment before he positions himself, and then he just hammers in. You see Torvin lining himself up with the swing, and just as he launches the swing, this is when you see Rye almost leap from the ground and spear the side of the wall. He's managed to take out he's going to take out a large portion of the wall. I'm going to see what he can actually do here with raw damage, but you bolt back. It's going to be most of your round. Do you line up to do something similar, or are you attacking with your Morning Star?
I want to warhammer it.
You're going to warhammer it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
You drop the buckets nearest this, and you draw your warhammer. You'll get to attack next round. Torvin, your situation is a little different here. You're winding back up to swing, and there is a flash of Rye as he bounds over the top of you, hitting this wall. His head connects first with the wall, and you hear the crushing sound of mortar seeming to topple over. It doesn't take out the entire wall, but a sizable portion. The problem is, most of his body has gone through the wall, and bricks are starting to topple down on top of him. You also see
dropped the mace.
You see the ceiling starting to sag.
I grab him, and I launch backwards.
Give me a strength check. This is hard. This is a difficult roll.
I'm going to try and twist him as I'm doing it.
Sure.
Because that might help me use dex rather than strength. I'm just saying I'm twisting him as I do it.
Okay, all right.
Oh.
Okay. Your strength is 6. Your strength is what? What is your strength? 10?
9.
9.
Yeah.
Oh!
I'm punching way above my weight. Twisting. I'm twisting.
I want so much to give this to you, but I can't. I can't at a 16. Just because of the weight of the bricks over the top of his body, and it's like it's pulling a body over the mortar, the brick, and the wall itself. You've got to carry his weight up over the wall first before he can do it. It's not likely. When he gets back, I will give him some explanation, but I'm going to go ahead and pass this to Eli. Eli, Wyld, did you want to reroll? Did you want to give it another shot?
No. I'll just save them. Okay, I'll re-roll it.
Go for it.
Save it.
Go for it.
All right, so strength with the dex.
Oh my God! No. You know what? Use one of mine. I've got 2 left. I want you to use one of mine. I want to see what this looks like.
All right.
If you want to.
Oh.
It's getting worse. You're trying. You're wrenching the body around. You're trying to like almost death roll his shoulders up to your arm and kind of wrench him forward, but it's not enough. It's just not enough. It's not working to the best of your ability. Eli, what do you do?
So is he caught under the weight of the building then, or?
I'm back. Sorry.
Hi. I have some regrets for you. I know you just ran to the bathroom.
No, I was listening.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all caught up.
You found the perfect spot to hit that you believe is the perfect spot. You didn't leap upward. You leapt basically into the center where you saw the weakest point at which Torvin was striking. Sure. And it's pretty much how you hit everything head on. It's how you've handled every absolute problem. And as you go through that weakened mortar wall, you've tossed your body through this. You almost spearhead through it directly like a missile. Your body doesn't go entirely through. Your legs are basically left over it. The problem is you bring down a lot of the upper wall over the top of your body, and it starts to bury you. You can feel.
Would you give me a reflex save? I mean, I don't think I'd just like throw myself at in such a. I mean, I understand bringing the wall down. I would try to get out of the way. I would think. It's up to you. But
I can give you a reflex save, but I'm talking like nutty numbers. This would be nutty. You're talking cat-like reflexes.
All right. Well, that's likely not to happen. Okay. What have
like
I done
a ninja?
Weird. Okay, I've done something with my sheet, and it has turned gray and small, and I can't. Okay, never mind. I got it back now. Weird. It like folded in itself. Reflex. Go.
I set the DC at higher than that. I set your DC at 20 to completely manage to ninja your way through a mortar wall like the Kool-Aid Man and somehow still manage to save yourself.
I re-roll.
Go for it.
I perform another re-roll.
Is this your last one?
How many do I have?
There's 3 total.
Today?
3 total.
Then this is my second.
It's your second. Okay.
I attempt a third re-roll.
You're getting closer. You didn't get close enough.
I didn't do it. All right.
You know what? I'll throw my final one at you because you're trying. You're trying. You just burned them all. Go ahead and have my final.
I dedicated myself to this.
Have my final roll. Motherfucker! Oh! Fuck! I didn't. That is the last thing I wanted. I wanted this wall to come down upon you. This is okay. You
See,
fucking
it was Torvin's
ninja.
twisting that helped.
Oh, okay.
It
Yeah,
was the
no.
twisting.
I
You're
literally
giving that
set the
extra-
DC at 20. At 20. Oh man, I regret it. Then you got it. You managed to do so. I'm still going to hook you up with some damage. Not as much though.
Hook you up, dog?
Yeah, hook me up with some damage.
Take 11 points of damage. You're able to prevent yourself from getting toppled.
Wow, that's spiteful, DM. That's some
Spiteful?
damage.
I had 3 D8. I was lined up. That was I was bringing a fucking huge brick wall down upon you.
Wow, this is some spite. All right, fine.
Take
DM.
11 points.
Whatever you want.
You're able to recover. You do take some damage. But
All right,
it's not enough
fair.
to really shake you entirely so. However, you are now on the inside of this building. You don't recover in such a way that is able to prevent you from being inside. You get through the wall comes crashing down, and if it were somebody slower, if this were Oz, if this were Eli, you have no doubt in your mind that they would have taken the full brunt of that wall coming down upon them. There is still another corner opposite this side. You bring down 2 corners, you're bringing down the roof upon them. From inside, you can see that the painting is half burned. The wall sags, the ceiling sags as well. Do you say anything to your peers?
It's still on fire, right? It's just stopped it from spreading. The
wall is the building is still on fire. The ceiling that is now
Yeah, the town
sagging
hall.
down is on fire. You could likely reach up, but you risk burning yourself yet again, which I know that you don't like being on fire, and Kendra would be so shitty at you.
To do what? To do what now?
You could likely bring the roof down yourself. The roof is sagging. It has no support structure in the corner. It's quite literally got a major sag. You could bring it down, but you would need a counterweight. You would need something to pull.
What is the status of the spread of the fire? Does it look like we're thwarting it by doing this? It looked like it made a difference.
Oh yeah, no, if you successfully bring the ceiling down, not only will you successfully burn that painting, but you will prevent the church from burning.
Okay. All right, but it still needs to come down. There's something.
There is a
and you
rear
said
corner.
I have to pull?
If you wanted to, you could pull on that ceiling, the corner sag of the ceiling, and you would bring likely the most of the ceiling down on top of you, unless there was something else that you wanted to kind of.
Yeah, I'm
this.
gonna back up and I'm gonna pull out the grappling hook and see if I can hook a part of the top of the town hall and pull it down.
Okay, this is gonna be a little tricky. I'm here for it though. Eli, this is you're in motion, you're in action, and I kind of let him bleed over there in some of his course of action. So I want to know what you do. You've got a bit more of a free reign here. What would you like to do?
He's inside it now, right?
He's inside.
I can't collapse the building on top of him.
I mean, you could.
I could.
You know that he's
not...
you know that he's the owner of some of those dastardly rats. You also know that he just tried to steal. Well, he may have successfully stolen gems. Yeah.
Well, you don't know I stole.
I don't
those.
know that he stole the gems. I'm not gonna judge him without a trial.
Oh shit! Really? Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna at least interrogate him first.
They're rat killing bros now. It's different.
That's true. That's true. You guys Goomba stomped a bunch of rats. I get it. Mario and Luigi over here.
I don't know. Could I start knocking a hole in the wall then? That's not that one brick that's gonna bring it down, so it can have a way to come out, or
you could go into the building and make an exit in the rear side of the wall.
Okay.
I mean, that's what you could do. You could. I mean, You tell me what you want to do, and I'll give you all the options.
I
in the world.
wanna save Rye.
You want to save Rye
from the building crashing on him.
Well, simplest explanation is you go get him. You just run in and get him out of the building. But if you want to continue with the efforts of dropping this building, or at least dropping the roof that's on fire, you will have to maintain attacking the structure.
Wait, why am I inside at this point?
Okay, let me explain this to you.
Yeah, I'm having a little...
You Kool-Aid manned your way through a wall. You don't just get to stop. Momentum makes most sense here. You went through that wall.
Gotcha. Okay, all right.
That's why I was trying to pull you out, because as it's all falling down because of the hole.
Gotcha. All right. Well, okay. But this is before I choose to willingly run out. He is
correct. Correct.
Okay,
this is still that end of round.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, you know what? I'll just yell out real quick then. Right, can you hear me? Do you want me to bring it down?
You can definitely hear him. In short-end response, off of your turn, you get 16 words or less.
Let me get out. That's all I
Okay.
back.
So I'll go to the other spot then.
Okay.
And then I'll hold. Can I hold an action?
Of course you can.
Yeah, to smack it when he clears the building.
Sure. If you'd like to, you can give me a knowledge engineering. We'll see what is the best point as well for you to kind of strike here. That's surprisingly good
for me.
Yeah, that is surprisingly good. Yeah, you found a less than bolstered area of which it is a dominant support corner, and you know this is probably the best place to strike. Top of the initiative, Torvin. Do you run over with Eli? Do you go try to get Rye? What does this look like?
All right, so the wall. It looks like it's coming down. It looks like the tall ones have actions to do here. They're doing well. They're bringing it down. Yeah, is that what I feel like?
Yeah, you've got a pretty good idea. Torvin, can you give me perception, please?
Because I want to go over to the forge. Because that's on fire too, yeah?
Yes, Torvin. The door to the blacksmith is open.
I rush over. If I think they've got it,
yeah.
I'm rushing over. I want to make sure. I actually want to assess the forge. I want to see if the forge is the place where this is all coming from.
Sure. Okay, a couple of things here. You use your move action to bolt over to the forge. It's about 40 feet away, so you basically double move here in this situation. And I need a perception plus an intelligence check.
Okay, perception.
Mm-hmm.
And intelligence.
Correct. Okay, this wasn't hard. This wasn't a difficult check because they didn't attempt to hide this. You move to the mouth of the blacksmith, of which fire arcs around its arch of the doorway itself. And the problem isn't that you can immediately determine what caused the fire. The problem is that you can see that Jaminda is attempting to drag the corpse of Jorfa from the building. Jorfa's body is absolutely mangled from something. It just contorted her body in such a way. As you start to move inside, you can intelligently deduce what caused this. A lantern, an oil lantern, was intentionally dropped in a hay bale nearest the door. No blacksmith would do that. The fire has been here long before you know that Jaminda was here. Give me a strength check. Okay. With her assistance, it's going to take you guys a round to pull her out. But when you move over to help, her skin is in similar situation. Where her skin is darker because she's a Dwergar, you are seeing these marks almost like someone took chalk and drove it up her body. And these lightning-like patterns that distend off in multiple spiderweb-like designs up her corpse. You also see that there is a significant portion of skin missing from the right side of her face, where there was these score marks, determined burns to mark a deserter. You're familiar with this. It was part of your tutelage. You don't know if this was done post or pre, but you know that it's gruesome. And you remember her. Your memory never really fades. The only thing that's different is that she has a bit more wear on one side of the face than what remains of the other. You drag her out. Jamenda has these almost carbon-like dark marks up her body, and she is like she's trying to breathe, but she's struggling with the amount of smoke that's in this room. It's gonna be around. Rye, it is your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna exit the building and then try to grapple it.
Okay, so standing in the door, give me a dex check in this case. So a d20 plus your dexterity modifier plus your base attack bonus. You can just click dex and then tell me what your dex modifier is. Or what's
Dex
your
modifier.
That's not great.
Oh wow, and I have no rerolls, so dex modifier is 2.
Okay.
I don't know what that matters.
Since this is basically like an attack here, I can't believe this.
Can I give up one of mine?
You can't. This is the first time that I will have an opportunity at using the critical fumble deck.
Ooh.
Yeah, most of the time that this has come to this option, you guys have had rerolls to prevent yourself from doing this, but there is a critical fumble deck. I'm going to shuffle this, and I want you to tell me when to stop. I'm shuffling now.
Stop.
Got it.
Oh god, I hope it's not like the Rollmaster critical failure tables. They were insane.
Okay, so we have ranged. All right. This is what this card looks like, just in case. This is what it looks like on the back side, so then you guys there. It's critical failure. So then I want you to take a read here on ranged attack. So let's see if you can see that there. Can you see ranged? It's right where my finger is. If not, I can read it to you.
I can probably read it. Let me. Ranged. Something. No, I can't read it.
Okay.
It's too blurry.
Chat, this is what it looks like for you. This is the back side of the card. This is a critical failure deck. It's all about fumbles, particularly in attacks. So the way that this works, it tells you for melee, ranged, natural, and magic. And in this case, it is a ranged attack because he's trying to hook something. Notched fingers, you take 1d6 points of bleed. So if you would roll a d6 for me.
Sure. Well.
2. You take 2 points of bleed. You basically attempt to, with accuracy, target one of the sagging beams that are attached still distraughtly to the roof. And as you begin to pull, your hand kind of slips, and you can feel that fresh, unburned skin immediately take a burn. And you can feel the heat of the rope sort of soak into a fresh wound on your hand. As you release, it continues to bleed. It's a very, very slow thing, right? It's a very, very slow burn. But the bleed will continue until it is taken care of. You will continue to bleed. This is how bleed functions. It is a status effect that lingers until it is treated. So every round, you will lose that amount of health until it's treated, until it's wrapped.
Sure.
Okay. You still technically have access to it. You failed. You can draw this back and try again. That is a standard action. You still have a move at your behest.
Would you allow me to use my move to stop the bleeding?
Do you have like gauze on you? Do you have like a wrap or something on you that you can use with some quickness?
Yeah, I mean, I got my bag. I have, essentials basically.
So
something I can just rip up.
I'll allow you to kind of grab at your bag, but you're not going to be able to do it with the remainder of your round. Heal checks are a standard action in this case.
Sure. Okay, then. I go through my bag to grab something to staunch the bleeding.
Sure. Do
you
you move outside of the door, or do you just kind of stay right here where you're at?
I mean, I would imagine if I'm grappling and trying to pull it down, I would have moved away from the door. I'm like throwing it from a distance. I'm not going to stand under it and pull it on me,
Yeah.
So, I'm 20 feet back. Whatever.
Got it. Eli. There is no additional response from the inside. You hear no scream, no, got it, I'm out, I'm free. You just have the sense of urgency, the roof continuing to burn. It's your turn, though, so I'd like to know what you have.
Oh, he wouldn't have seen me leave?
No, from the other side of the building, it's there isn't a gap. There's not like a window or anything like that. So he's at a point where he's quite literally like lined up so that he can swing at the wall.
Gotcha. Okay. And he's waiting for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a swing.
Go for it. Make your attack. For the sake of the fact that you had held action, I'll let you take 2 attacks here. It makes most sense. You literally delayed your round so that you can take an action, and you never got around to doing it. Okay. You didn't critical fail. You start immediately hammering away at this, and with each successful swing at the wall, you see just a little of it start to shift. It's like watching a fresh tower of Jenga blocks. As you pull it free and you panic a little and it starts to shift the entire tower. That's what's sort of happening here. You're looking at an angle, a 90-degree angle that's kind of interloped together, finger locked, and each time you hit it, it just gives a little. A few more of these swings and you have no doubt that you'll weaken it enough to take this down, and with it the roof. Top of the initiative, Torvin.
I put my hands on my tattoo and then put it onto hers and tell her that she's forgiven.
Okay. When you place your hand on your tattoo, when you put, is it the same hand? Do you touch your tattoo and then touch her face, or is it left hand on face and then right hand on tattoo?
That.
Okay.
Then down.
When you bring your hand down to her face, you say you were forgiven. It is the first...
I say, I forgive you.
Okay, I forgive you. I forgive you. You say, I forgive you. And you notice that this is the first time that you have done any line of preambled work for what you were supposed to do. And it's not even a notion that is accurate to what you were supposed to do. But when you look down, this is the first time, it's the first time in a long time, you have another dwarf's blood on your hands. And it's not by your own action. And you realize that there is something like this is a series of events that sort of play through your mind. You are a defender of your people. You're doing so much to try to get back to the truth of yourself and own your life. And this is another dwarf that was supposed to have sought after the Five Kings crown, and you have their blood on your hands, but it's not from your sword. It's not from your actions. I imagine this is a sort of a startling moment. It's a moment of reflection. I want to see where that lands, but that's not in this moment. Do you continue with Jaminda? Do you usher Jaminda out of the door? What does this look like?
It's a very short moment. It's just myself and them, and then I have to get up and continue, but I want to look at the forge, but I want to pay respects to the dead.
Some things are going to change around here. I'm going to treat it that the three of you continue doing this. You're making diligent efforts. You are applying every aspect that you can to freeing the people. You want to bring this down. I'm not going to try to punish you for a sense of something that you have done the entire time to a degree of perfection. You've suffered your failures. You've taken damage. You've witnessed each other in both the best of intentions and the worst of intentions. But the camera is going to switch. It's going to change angle at this point. Things are going to shift and move around you. And now, it looks just a little different. The wind starts to die down. It comes to a standstill. We hear that sound of that drumming, dark continent reeling downward. The fire comes to a screeching halt. And all that we're left is this look of darkness. That silence seems to waver on for just an amount of time. You're looking inside of yourself, Silwith. You're trying to find him at this point. You two are also reflecting. But you can't quite seem to shake the aspect of while you're reflecting on the things that were said to you by Miss Kendra Lorimore. You never can shake the eyes of Temerity as she continues to watch you. You know she's there. You're in this almost mantra-like Zen state, looking inside, reflecting, trying to find Peverin. He's been here the entire time. Where is he? And as you focus on to the point, you never get a response. You get nothing. I want to know what you do. Temerity still stands, and every few moments you hear a almost like an angry mother standing over the top of you, waiting for an action, waiting for response.
I mean, in that state, I would say, before I guess he comes back out, I know you're still in here, Evan. So I'll give you the choice, seeing as my actions have only caused you misfortune since I've arrived. You can either tell me to go, or you can keep me here. But the choice is yours. And your silence will mean a no to me as well. And then he kind of wakes back up. And
as you usher
sits
yourself to wake up, you feel a hand on your chest. It's not Temerity's hand. This one comes with power. Temerity doesn't lack power. You've seen that. But this is deliberate. This is cold. You try to will your body forward. Give me a willpower. "12. You try to will your body forward. The many times you've attempted to use your wraith-like powers. You try again, and nothing. Temerity, he doesn't move. He doesn't seem to shake. As you focus in on him, you notice that he doesn't even breathe. You hear something. It's almost laughable at first. You recognize it. It's uncanny. But the hand on your chest, it's not the foot of a large chicken. The only thing that you can will yourself to do is open your eyes. And the spirit that stands before you is a lot less forgiving. Justice was served. Isn't that what you said? There, standing before you, is Jorfa, the blacksmith. Her face torn from slapping the edge of her workbench. Her skin almost crystalline by design, with white like ligature chalk marks that run up her in lightning bolt patterns. Her eyes different than the other spirits that you've seen, as they glow with radiance. And what justice was that? One for you to exact.
Instead of like trying to like force his way back, he kind of just like shuffles back in I wouldn't say like a relaxed manner, but like knowing that he's not going to keep pushing to try to get out.
You attempt to move, and it's when you realize that you can't. That hand has you
No,
pinned.
that's what I'm saying. He's not trying to like move, like will himself to move.
Sure.
He's just kind of like I guess easing back into it. Like, fine, if you're not going to let me move, I don't care, kind of thing. And he kind of looks back. You know, thinking about it. Maybe not. I can say in the short, long time that I've been what I am,
I've grown tired of being afraid, grown tired of crying for help and receiving none. And I'm aware that the world doesn't owe me any of it, but there are people that exist that do so.
Temerity, can I get a perception from you, please?
From my end, I am tired of being wronged by people like yourself who think that because the world has also mistreated you, that somehow that makes me a villain. It wasn't my
Just gonna
hand
hit
that
every
delivered
P1. Sorry.
you have luck rolls. Would you like to reroll those?
Yeah.
I figured you might.
It wasn't my hand that dealt the killing blow, but in my heart of hearts, I truly believe I did receive that justice.
Temerity, as you watch on, still waiting for that response, you feel as if you have been owed this response. You see the outline of a hand appear on the chest of Peverin's body, not in a way that it was his own and his hand is shifted, but that where his arms lie at his side, a new handprint appears on this chest. It almost creates this cold-like shape. The armor that he's wearing, this leathers, it has this almost like foggy fingerprint sensation that's left over the top of it. It's like condensating. It's much, much larger than Peverin's. And you think it's strange that you still haven't seen Peverin breathe.
This isn't something that we've seen before with Peverin and Tripp.
No.
Negative.
Give me a knowledge religion.
Okay.
I'd like to see what you might have here.
If he's not breathing,
I know
maybe you need to
everything.
defibrillate him.
Everything in the entire world. So just lay it on. I know exactly what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely. It is a unique scenario. It is a rare sensation, even something that has been recorded in some of the knowledge of Pharasma, and particularly regarding spirits that are able to lapse through and touch upon the material plane. Most of the time, it is like it is said. It's even commonly said today that there are spirits that have unfinished business. They have things that matter to them, so they remain in this place, in this space. And you're witnessing this phenomenon. You've read about this. You've seen the condensation marks. You've seen the prints in the sand. This immediately takes your mind there. There is some outward effect, some spirit or apparition-like presence that is having some effect on either Peverin's body or Tripp's mind.
But do it so I know he's okay though.
You don't.
I don't.
You
okay.
don't.
And I have no more of those things left. Okay. What do you do? Hold on. I think first I would just try to kind of like I'll go and approach him.
Okay.
And like give him a shake.
Where do you shake him?
At the shoulder. Like
At
I'll
the
grab
shoulder?
one shoulder and give him.
This is the most bizarre sensation for you because while you've read about it, you've never experienced it firsthand. You've never actually felt this. As you step in to kind of shake him, you lean down and you simulate the almost exact same position that Jorfa's spirit is in, and it's almost like slipping into a suit. You feel that condensation build in the air as you step into this. It's like a standing puddle. There is a presence here that you can feel, and it is a phenomenon that is very rarely not only recorded, but many live through. You know for certain, while you've never met Jorfa, that there is someone here, and in the position that they are, the way that you're reaching down to grab the shoulder, there is power in this push, and they are preventing the child from moving. Or maybe it's the spirit inside. Silwith, while this is playing, would it be justice if I were to stop the boy from breathing? To let you join me here? Is that justice? Bear in mind, I have no ill will against you anymore. But I carried to my grave something that's much worse. I did terrible things. I never got to make amends for one. And now I can't move on, and I'm stuck here. And the only thing that drives me is to watch you suffer a bit more. And why is that? Why do I carry that with me? I don't feel like I owe you anything. But where I stood over my own body, and I watched you drop that lantern into the hay, you created hatred in that moment, thinking that I was gone, but I was watching. I saw, like you're some holy judicator, as if you're Torvin himself. Was justice served? Because to me it just looked like hate made hate. What they say, an eye for an eye, and the whole world blind.
I want to try something. Can I do another will check to see if I can push away while she's like, they talk?
You can try, but your will has to supersede her supernatural strength in death. Temerity, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm not sure really what I can do. Let's see.
Remember, Ronald, you
Can I do a reroll?
you have luck rerolls. Yeah, you guys have 3 luck rerolls.
So I'll use one. I'll burn the last one. It's almost the end of the night. Oh! 19.
Okay, I'm gonna give her a roll
Guessing that's
here.
not enough then.
I'm gonna give her a roll. I'm gonna see what she can do while I'm waiting on Temerity here. I don't have any luck rerolls.
But it's probably not going to be enough.
Might be. Depends on how I roll. I rolled very, very poorly.
As she starts talking about bringing up the portion of she's not sure like why she's like fixated on watching me suffer and like why she like feels a hatred. Tripp kind of notices a lapse on that like pressure that she did and immediately like moves in closer, like I guess like to that barrier, and then just goes, "Welcome to the afterlife," and he pushes out to like push her back.
Okay. You've succeeded in going over that, but I do need you to beat her strength. You have to beat a 9 in a strength check. You don't have any luck rerolls left. I know your strength's not great because you're playing in the body of a child.
So am I just using a regular 20 then, or?
You're going to use a 20 minus 1.
Probably not going to then. Yeah.
Temerity. In a brief moment, you feel the body jostle from its position, and as the hand sort of lifts, it immediately goes back down.
So he's not breathing.
He's not breathing.
Am I able to tell if he's dying?
Heal check, please. Temerity, you can see that there are some strenuating marks that are building up around the eyes themselves. His lips are starting to aggrandize to a lighter blue color. He's losing oxygen.
Okay. So I know that I am basically sharing a space with Jorfa, right?
That is correct.
Can I cast Disrupt Undead?
Yes.
Like right in front of me?
under one guy's. I need a will save.
Okay. Let's do it.
Wow, kick ass. You just nailed
Okay.
it.
Here we go.
Go for it. Cast Smite Undead. It's damage. Damage is going to come out. Silwith.
You gonna help me?
Take 5 points of damage. There's nothing you can do about it. It's not the body, it's yours. It's your soul. You take 5 points of lethal damage. Jorfa will as well. I'll need another strength check from you, Silwith. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. All right, let's see. Okay.
That's bonkers. Hey, we're fighting undead.
Unlucky. Right off of a 16. Damn. Okay. You were able to supersede. You were able to best her strength in this moment. Her hand recoils. You hear this hiss as she kind of pulls up, as you see this light erupt from within her. It's like a shudder pulse. You feel it too, but you react in such a way that you're able to drive her back. I need to know what you do. How do you react? Do you step from the body of the boy? Do you...
Oh, you mean to like attack her?
Reassert control?
I would take control back. I'm not gonna try and like hurt her. Like my shit's done. Like she got hers.
Okay.
It's not my point to try and kill a. It's not. I'm not trying to do damage to a ghost. I already seen what that does.
With a breath akin to someone surfacing the water from too long, you hear the cough and the deep inhale, followed by further coughs and exhales from the boy. Silwith returns. Silwith, when you awaken, you see that hand on your chest as Temerity's. Now the other hand is up, and you can see that it's almost like a post-secondary phase, right? Like it's in a clutch, like it's in some sort of somatic component spell, right? The hand is still in motion. But Temerity seems to be looking down at you, and while the hand is in the very same spot, it's not the one that's putting pressure upon you. The pressure is gone in this moment.
Yeah, as he reasserts control and starts breathing, he looks up at her. I mean, I feel like he's gonna he's gonna know that she knows. If that makes sense.
A few things happen here in this moment. I want to define this. I want to define this
like a,
very, very cleanly and clearly in such a way. You have no idea what Temerity just did. But your most recent interactions with Temerity are as follows. You went with her to the Temple of Pharasma. You saw her hide materials in her breast pocket. When you finally made it back after the murder of Jorfa, you didn't give her the info that she wanted. You know that she is the only person that has tried keeping you around, and she saved your skin, literally, in the moment. And now where she stands, she's over the top of you. Her hand is on your chest. Temerity, where you are, you've done everything in your power to give him a fair opportunity, because everything that you were taught was to smite the undead, draw them forth, and send them unto the afterlife. This completely goes against the teachings of your matriarch, of your inquisitorship, everything that you are. Yet you followed your guiding morals and emotions. It made the most sense. You thought that there was more here. He's hiding information. He's not giving you everything, and honestly, he's acting like a snot-nosed dick. This is a very tense and terse situation. You've both caught each other's glances. Nobody's said anything yet. What happens here? What's the next step?
He looks down, just back at her. Wouldn't blame you if you did, you know. You're muted.
You're either going to tell me what's going on, or you're going to get out of that kid and leave him be for good.
Oh, yeah. Seems that Jorfo's spirit was holding me from returning to everyone's body, or at least regaining control.
And why would she do that?
Because she's mad at me
Why?
in particular.
Why is she mad? You need a lot more details.
For the first time, you're seeing a furiousness that has erupted from Temerity. Her face is flinched, the lips are tight, the brows are furrowed, blood still in her hairline. The nature of the tiefling has arisen to the surface, yet she still remains calm, enough to let you live. For now.
As I said, I found out she was one of the people on that list from the ledger that I had found in the prison. Knowing that she was one of the people that I feel that has wronged me, I wanted a certain kind of justice taken care of, and just by chance, it happened to be done. She was upset that I had said that in her moment of death.
I'll say this once.
You feel like he's hiding some additional information. This is very natural for you. People like to hide facts. He's not admitting something.
I'll say this once, and this is the last and only time I will say this. You are alive because of the boy right now. And that's the only reason why you will remain such. You have a lot to do to get back to where you were, where you are given any leeway. I have been asked by my party to literally kill you, and yet I've spared you. But you give me partial information and stuttering stories that tell me nothing.
I burned her body, Temerity.
Do I have any kind of like...
I'd like a perception from the both of you.
Temporarily, like, strap him to the bed and not let him move spell?
Temerity with a 23. Silwith with a 23.
It's not a competition.
Lindsay's.
You're both there. You're having this conversation. It's very, very intense, right? He says, I burned the body. And as you contemplate in that moment, strapping him down and just finishing the job, you both catch the scent. It's finally permeated the building. He says, I burned her body. You both smell fire. And it's not from the flue nearest you. This is wet moisture. This is a burning of something much larger.
What can I roll to see if, since he just said that he burned her body, if I can correlate the fact that this is because he burned the body? This smell of fire.
It might be a bit of a leap to check it much further, but you don't think he's lying.
I know, I don't think he's lying, but if I smell a fire and he has just literally, I would never have associated it before, but like him saying, I lit her body on fire, and I know he was in the smithy, and I smell smoke almost immediately and know it's not in the house. Like, no, it's
elsewhere.
That to me says I might be able to immediately, and probably not. I think it would be a hard roll, but
I don't think it's a roll. Honestly, you just have to ask yourself if you can do the math here. 1, I want to make 2, 2, I want to make 3. This is 3 in this instance, and 3 is the fire spread. Did he stay around long enough? Has he exercised that much caution up to this point?
I feel like it at least would occur to me that that's a possibility, and I would reach out and grab his hand as rough, gently as I can, knowing that this is the kid's body and not his. You're coming with me because you will not be left alone. And I'm gonna start like going towards the door.
Okay.
Resistance or not, I mean, might give some, but he's a child. And I have a strength of 16, so I'll roll it. But...
No, there's not even. You've got this. On top of that, his body is not responding the way that he'd like to, courtesy of being electrocuted nearly to death. You draw his body upward, and he moves very awkwardly so. There is little resistance. And as you make it to the door and you swing it the rest of the way open, smoke has already started to kind of like start slowly billowing into that door because it was never shut entirely. And when you open it the rest of the way and you step outside, it's very, very strong scent. And when you glance in the direction of the town, there is a glow over the top of the town. This isn't a bonfire. This isn't a backyard barbecue. This is a large fire that rivals anything that you've seen up to this point. Your best guess from the distance of the town square to where you are now, it's multiple buildings. And this is your first opportunity to see it. Temerity, you don't have to roll. You have dark vision. You are naturally inclined to perceiving the depths and the sheer distance of how fire can spread and how it has spread. This is more than a mere cremation. This is a crime.
What have you done? And I'll grab him and just start as fast as his legs will allow him running in that direction. Start running in that direction.
Okay. This is where I'm going to end tonight's session, but I'm going to end it with a slight gap. This gap is this. First and foremost, we will not be playing next week. Next week at this time, everybody will either be off doing their own things, or we'll be back here and we'll try to either one-shot, or we'll play some co-op game. It could be Gloomhaven, it could be Deep Rock Galactic. I'm not entirely sure what it's going to be. But before we get to that, Cobalt, Ello, and Wyld, your efforts in the town as Rye, Eli, and Torvin have not gone without. The townsfolk have watched you, borderline slave in the fire, risking your own lives to bring down the remains of a building that had already caught fire and saw to a great deal of damage. Your efforts were not in vain. You successfully brought down the building, and the Temple of Pharasma took very minor damage. Surface damage. It can be cleaned off. Jorfa's blacksmith is destroyed. Completely. Jamenda has pulled the body of Jorfa into the city circle, where next to her lies Hap, keeping her company, and on her lap is the head and the body of Jorfa, her face covered so that her face cannot be seen. But you cannot miss or mismatch her body. Everybody knows clearly whom it is. Now the damaged the damaged town hall itself was almost written off entirely, but the damage is done. The roof has collapsed. Any important documents have been destroyed. Temerity, when you make it into the city circle, you can see what few stragglers of the town seem to remain. You notice their numbers dwindling by the day. By the day. All of you come together, with the exception for Oz and Kendra. Jamenda is not distraught. She is simply ushering on the words of the Temple of Pharasma, a blessing of passing. Which is someone from Nadal, this is a very, very harsh thing for her to say. Rye, you'll recognize this immediately. There is sorrow in her heart. With you together, you can see nothing more than the guilt painted on Peverin and Silwood's face as he realizes the consequences of his actions. Jorphus destroyed, the town hall destroyed, and even though it's superficial damage, the Temple of Pharasma has also seen damage. The session ends there. When we pick up next time, not next week, but the following, with all of us back together again, that will be the 24th. The 24th is going to start with Maggie. We get to see what is happening with Oz. Oz is in a state of shock, if you haven't picked it up yet. Oz's direct actions and his compulsion has led him to the murder of someone. Someone that was going to help you greatly. And we'll begin again from there. So your heroes and your villains on the same hand. Not all of you, only some of you. Your direct actions will have and will always have impact where you are, and consequences will follow you everywhere. There are many consequences that have not been spoken of today. There are many actions that still can come through to this, and I look forward to seeing exactly how your relationships evolve from here. Do we see Eli haphazardly forget the actions of Rye with the painting? Does Rye take a moment to just realize in the situation how much worse it could have gotten had he just stuck to his ways? Does Torvin finally come unglued? Do we see Temerity strike down Silwith? Does Silwith have a change of heart? Does Silwith come to his senses? Either way, we'll find out the next time we get to play, guys. So for now, I'm going to give all of our players here their proper sign-offs, let you guys do your thing, and I'm going to start with my man's Cobalt. Tell us about you, boss. What are you doing? Where can we find you these days?
Hello, I'm CobaltStreak. I play lots of indie roguelike strategy games on my channel. Sometimes in the morning, mostly at night. I play Pathfinder on Tuesdays right here, and I play D&D on Thursdays in the morning on Roll For It. And other than that, doing some Rogue Legacy True, Rogue Legacy True. God damn it. True. Look. Rogue Legacy 2. Yep, I might check out the new PoE League. We'll see. Yeah, play video games. It's me.
Baller. That's what we like hearing. We got next, Ms. Misty. Tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Oh, hi. My name is Misty. You can find me at twitch.tv/Imperial and Imperial GRRL everywhere else. I am sewing, playing, and just raising money for St. Jude since it's May and it's Play Live month. And we're just having a good time and trying to find that work-life balance that includes streaming right now. So I have not been on so much, but hoping to change that.
Perfect.
Hoping.
Perfect. I love it. Wyld.
I mean,
go ahead. No, you please. You mean?
No, I was gonna say I'm still in my work clothes. This is my work-life balance that I got going on right now.
I was gonna say you do look very professional today.
Oh, thank you.
I showed up in my butthole hat, and I was like, I don't look nearly as good.
No, this was not intentional. This was time-based.
Well, I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Wyld, my friend, tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
I'm Wyld everywhere, with a Y. The last thing I was playing was Error Reaching the Twitch API Array, which is a lot of fun. I recommend it. You'll see a lot of people playing it. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, for certain. What were you playing, though?
Actually, I've been getting back into 76. I actually sat down and played all of the dailies and went through the whole lot, like even the shitty ones.
Yeah.
And I had 5 hours of actually a ton of fun. So,
great.
Yeah, I've been playing that a bit.
Are you at all stoked? Is anybody at all stoked for the Valheim big patch that's coming near the end of the year? They've aired a lot of Mistland stuff.
I was going to say, yeah, that's what they were talking about for a while, right?
I'm super excited for it. And I know that you were pretty deep into it as well, Wyld. Okay.
No, Valheim's great. And the modding scene's great, but what they're actually looking at doing next is going to be remarkable.
I will ask more post our show. I'm interested in knowing far more. Hello, sir. Tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you when you're not trying to be a deviant and hero at the same time?
Well, hello everybody. I am Ellohime. I am a variety streamer. I'm usually live in the wee hours of the morning Eastern time. So if you're an insomniac, come see what I'm up to. It can either be watching YouTube videos or doing dumb stuff with my chat or video games. We do a lot of stuff like we just did. I had chat do a 36 question personality test for me where I averaged what the chat said on each question and then used that as an answer. And it was I learned a lot about myself. But yeah, come on along if you want to know any of my extra socials. They're all on my channel, and that's being linked in the chat.
Perfect. That's what we like seeing. Mr. Xander, wow, sir, you troublemaker, you. Tell us about you, boss. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Yeah, you guys can find me here on Tuesdays, and when I get the willpower to do so, Wednesdays, pretty early. But it's been a while since I streamed. Yeah, also variety gamer, just playing random stuff. So if you guys just want to chill, kick back, and hang out, this is where you guys can find me on my channel. Yeah.
Dope. And that leaves me. You guys already know why you're here. You've been here before. If you've not been here before, I'm Bub. Formerly the Bubbernaut, now Bub Talks. And I am just trying to tell stories, make voices loud, and, well, see where we can take things. If you are down to hang out and you like this kind of thing, I'm trying to do a lot more. I've got some stuff that I've been mulling around for a long time, like Vampire the Masquerade and Deadlands and stuff like that. A lot of things that I want to kind of bring to fruition and step to the table with. But I'm going to need the right group for it. Either way, this is the place to find it. And make sure you support these people here. Pop over to their channels and support them. Hit them with a sub. Make sure you follow them. Check out their Twitters. They're hilarious people, and they're some of my favorite people on the internet. Every chance I get to watch them, I try to do so, even if it's all sneaky lurk-like. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Do what you do. Stay safe, stay nerdy, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Have a good one, folks. Peace. We're out of here.
It's oats and concrete, guys. Try it.
What?